Welcome to the Paid Pod. All right, so like I promised you last week, I want to talk about why you shouldn't say yes to every single Upwork project invitation that you receive. And I know it sounds weird because an invite on Upwork feels like a golden ticket. The inbox pings, your heart skips a beat, and in that split second, you imagine the client already halfway to hiring you. It's the dopamine shot that freelancers live for. We love that feeling of approval. But here's the truth. The most invites that land in your mailbox, majority of the time, are fool's gold. Okay, they shine bright in your inbox, but when you hold them up to the light, I got a light right here, they crumble to dust. They look like progress, but they're actually really a trap. And here's the really cruel irony of it all. The more yeses that you hand out, the deeper you dig yourself into that trap. Every single time you accept, you're actually not taking a step towards success. You're actually giving yourself a silent penalty. And it's a silent penalty against your future visibility. So, lately I've been learning a little bit more about the game of poker. So everyone says that you should just reply quickly, be friendly, keep it short, always accept opportunities, la la la. That advice, in my opinion, is garbage. I want you to think of a rookie gambler, right? Walking into a poker room in not Vegas, in Sun City or Monte Casino. They sit at the table, and instead of studying their hands, right, and calculating the odds of what other players might have, or even going, you know what, I folding strategically, they decide to play every single hand. Every single one. The chips slide across the table, their pile is shrinking, and from the outside, they look busy, right? They look like they're in the game. But anyone who actually understands poker knows that this person is being played. Every single hand shouldn't be costing them. Every single hand that you play should not be costing you. That's exactly what you do when you say yes to every invite. It's like, yes, I feel like I'm playing, but the system knows that you're losing. Okay, so now imagine, let's come out of the casino. Let's imagine you run a fruit stand at a morning market, like a morning Buddamark. The sun's up, but the smell of bread and coffee in the air, and customers are wandering through the stalls. Your suppliers drop off boxes of apples. Some are shiny and crisp and fresh, and others are bruised and dented and turning brown. But you don't want to waste anything, so you put all of them on display. At first, it seems fine. People stop, they look, and they notice the bruises. And they don't trust your stall anymore. And they can't tell which apples are safe. And so they walk to the next vendor. That's what happens when you accept every single invite. To the algorithm, you're stocking your stall with bad fruit. And once it learns that you will accept anything, well, guess what? It sends more bruised apples. Until one day, your stall is nothing but leftovers that nobody wants. Or last week, okay, here's another analogy that we used last week. I'm going to give you the ladder with the missing rungs. So saying yes might feel safe in the moment, right? It feels like you're climbing higher and higher. Look, I'm active, I'm engaged, clients are reaching out to me. But every single time you give a bad yes, you actually saw off the rung behind you. And you do it slowly and quietly until you don't actually notice that the ladder is getting weaker. So by the time that you notice, oh, there are no more steps, you're dangling in midair. You can't climb down. The rungs are gone. You can't climb up. The next step is just too far. And that's why freelancers one day wake up to an inbox that's gone cold. And they think, what happened? My skills are the same. My reviews are all 5 stars. What happened is that the rungs that they thought were secure have been sawed off with one bad invite at a time. Better yet, let's do something completely new. No fruit stands, no rungs on the ladder. Think of it like dining at a restaurant. You sit down, and the chef sends dish after dish after dish to your table. Some of these dishes are masterpieces. Others are half-cooked, under-seasoned, or just plain bad. But you decide to eat every single one of those things. No complaints, no pushback. So what does the chef assume? That you're going to eat anything. Then they stop sending their best work to your table because why waste it? On Upwork, your yes is the bite you take. Every single acceptance tells the system what flavor you are willing to swallow. So when you say yes to every single dish, don't be surprised when your menu devolves into leftovers. So here's the part most freelancers don't realize, that every dead thread, every cold invite doesn't just vanish. It stays logged. So while you are refreshing your inbox getting nothing, and you refresh it again and you're still getting nothing, that silence grows heavy. And the thing is, you don't have things going quiet in just one day. You get dozens, an echo of like dozens of ghosted invites in the past that are whispering to the algorithm, this freelancer can't close. And I promise you, even though it feels like the algorithm is punishing you, it's not punishment. It's just pattern recognition. And the pattern it sees, meaning the algorithm, the pattern the algorithm sees is failure. So the invites stop. And it's not because the clients don't exist. It's just the system doesn't trust you anymore. So saying yes to everything is literally like giving your Netflix passwords to the entire neighborhood. I mean, at first it feels super duper generous. Everyone's watching, everyone's active. But then soon, the system doesn't know who's really you. It doesn't know your taste. It doesn't recommend shows that you actually love. The recommendations become random noise because you've lost control of the signal. Your Upwork profile works the same way. Every yes muddies the data. Every no sharpens it. If you don't filter, you confuse the system. And when the system's confused, you lose. And honestly, a lot of freelancers don't fail because they lack the skills. They fail because they turn their inbox into a graveyard. Rows of tombstones. Ghosted invite number 1. Cold conversation number 12. Mismatch budget number 45. Each one carved into the algorithm's memory. A cemetery of chances that you missed. And here is the really terrifying part. The more tombstones that you pile up, the less likely the system is to send you living, breathing opportunities. Because you become the freelancer that's walking through their own invite graveyard, wondering why there's no new life. You're in the cemetery, not the maternity ward. So now I'm talking about the power of no. Because we've been told that no is dangerous, that turning down an invitation means you're losing a client. But here's the secret. No is also data. A sharp, fast no trains the system better than a weak yes. It says, please don't waste my time with this. I know what I want. It's the difference between being seen as selective and being seen as desperate. And desperation does not sell. Not to clients, not to algorithms, not to anyone. So every single yes is a signal of what you tolerate. Every single no is a boundary. And boundaries build trust with clients and with the platform. Think about it. If you tell Netflix you only watch true crime, your recommendations sharpen. If you watch everything from kids' cartoons to golf documentaries, your recommendations kind of blur into chaos. Upwork works the same way. When you say yes selectively, your inbox gets sharper. The invites don't just keep coming, they start to feel eerily aligned to your skills, your rates, and your preferences. That's not luck, that is filtered data. So I want us to tie this all together with the market, the restaurant, the graveyard, all of it. The fruit stand with bruised apples. That is your inbox flooded with bad invites that you didn't filter. The restaurant chef that's sending you slop, that's the algorithm testing how desperate you are. The graveyard of dead threads, that's your visibility quietly decaying with every single weak yes. Each and every one of those is a scene, but together they form a single story. The story of a freelancer who thought activity meant progress until they discovered they were training the system to bury them. So this is honestly not about losing a $100 project or losing a $500 project. I'd rather you take away from this that you are losing the compounding effect of visibility. And we talk about that in module 1 of the paid pillars course. And we also talk about it in module 2. So get viewed, get interviewed. Because when the system trusts you, everything compounds. You get better invites, you win more often, you climb faster. But when it doesn't trust you, you fall into obscurity. And honestly, obscurity is the true death sentence on Upwork. So you've been told, respond quickly, be polite, accept every chance. I'm telling you, reject more often, filter harder, and protect your ratios. That's how you stop looking like an option and you start looking like the obvious choice.